Welcome everyone to week 4 of our course. In this week's course, we'll be taking a look at Windows Management Instrumentation, creating important tasks for WMI, and running commands in WMI. Okay class, so let's take a look at Windows Management Instrumentation. Windows Management Instrumentation is a core Windows management technology. You can use WMI to manage both local and remote computers. WMI provides a consistent approach to carrying out day-to-day management tasks with programming or scripting languages. For example, you can start a process on a remote computer, schedule a process to run at specific times on specific days, reboot a computer remotely, get a list of applications installed on a local or remote computer, as well as query the Windows event logs on a local or remote computer too. The word instrumentation in WMI refers to the fact that WMI can get information about the internal state of computer systems in much the same way like the dashboard instruments of cars can retrieve and display information about the state of the engine. WMI instruments by modeling objects such as disks, processes, or other objects found in Windows systems. WMI capabilities also include eventing, remoting, querying, views, user extensions to the schema, instrumentation, and more. Now let's move on to looking at creating important tasks for WMI. WMI can be broken down into three basic components. First component, provider. This grants access to managed objects and provides availability to the WMI API. Second component would be classes. This is a WMI representation of objects with properties and methods. Thirdly, we have namespace, which is a logical grouping of classes. So the question is, how can PowerShell help make WMI easier to access? First, let's take a look at the tools PowerShell offers for WMI. There are basically 5 PowerShell CMDlets that make working with WMI a breeze. Here are a few off the list, but we will only focus on one of them, get-WMI object. Get-WMI object returns objects based on the namespace and class provided. Invoke-WMI method calls WMI methods commonly used to execute static methods. Register-WMI event is used to subscribe to WMI events. Remote-WMI object deletes an instance of any existing WMI class. To be clear, it doesn't delete the actual class itself, but the instance of the class you have in memory. Set-WMI instance creates or updates an instance of an existing WMI class. That is, use this one with caution as it actually writes to the WMI repository. Now let's tackle the biggest problem with WMI, which is figuring out exactly what's there and what data it provides. There are several ways to get information about this, but let's start with the built-in option. Running commands in WMI. Now, as we've discussed before, the biggest problem with WMI is figuring out exactly what's there and what data it provides. There are several ways to get this information, but we're going to start with the built-in option. You can list providers by doing any of the following. Granted, if you do this, it's a little bit more complicated than the rest of the tasks. Fortunately, you shouldn't have to do this often. So here is how you list the classes provided by a specific namespace. Default is root \c CIM2, which has all the Microsoft Win32 classes. On a local machine, enter get-WMI object namespace root /security center -list. On a remote machine, enter get-WMI object namespace root /security center -list -computer core. To filter, you can use wildcards such as get-WMI object namespace root /security center -list *firewall*. To list the classes for Hyper-V on remote servers, enter get-WMI object namespace root /virtualization -list -computer core. Here we'll take a look at PowerShell operators. Firstly, there's arithmetic binary operators as shown here. Plus, dash, star, /, percentage sign, plus plus, and dash dash. There's also assignment operators. Equal sign, plus equal, dash equal, star equal, / equal, percentage sign equal. You also have logical operators such as exclamation, dash not, dash and dash or. There are also string operators such as plus, star, dash f, dash replace, dash match, dash like. There are also comparison operators such as dash eq, dash ne, dash gt, dash ge, dash lt, and dash le. Here we'll take a closer look at arithmetic binary operators. Here we see 123 plus 789, semicolon, 222 minus 876, and 34.5 times 44.2, semicolon, 13 /7. 123 percentage sign 5, $ VAR plus plus, semicolon, plus plus $ VAR, forward arrow to $VAR equals $VAR plus 1. $VAR dash dash, semicolon, dash dash $VAR forwards to $VAR equals $VAR minus 1. Here we have assignment operators. Here we see $VAR equals 3, $VAR plus equals 3, semicolon, $VAR minus equals 3, $VAR star equals 3, semicolon, $VAR / equals 3, $VAR percentage sign equals 3. We also have $VAR equals 0 times 10, forward arrow to echo $VAR forward arrow to 16. $VAR equals 7.56E3 forwards to echo $VAR, which forwards to 7560. $VAR equals 7 MB forwards to echo $VAR, which forwards to 7340043 bytes. Logical operators. Open bracket 7 minus EQ 7 close brackets dash and open brackets 2 dash EQ 5 close bracket. Open bracket 7 dash EQ 7 close bracket dash OR open bracket 2 dash EQ 5 close bracket. Open bracket 9 dash EQ 9 close bracket dash XOR open bracket 4 dash EQ 4 close bracket semicolon, open bracket 9 dash EQ9, close bracket, equals XOR, open bracket 4 dash EQ7, close bracket, open bracket 3 dash EQ3 dash and exclamation, open bracket 2 dash EQ2, close bracket, open bracket 3 dash EQ3, close bracket, dash and dash not, open bracket 2 dash EQ9, close bracket. Here we'll take a closer look at string operators as shown below. Here we'll also look at comparison operators as shown below. So to summarize this week, Windows Management Instrumentation, also called WMI, is an object-oriented way of describing the hardware and software in your computer. Objects are organized into classes of like objects, such as network cards, OSs, computers, or logical disk drives. As with the objects discussed earlier, they all have properties and sometimes methods. Properties describe an object. Methods are what you can do to that object outside of editing its properties, which often counts as manipulating it. WMI works on a local computer as well as remotely, but you cannot access a remote computer unless it has WMI installed and you have administrative privileges on it. Okay, class, so this week I'm also including some notations on learning and documentation. It's important to note that online help is always available and filled with examples. Many books and documentation are available already, such as Microsoft Press, on Microsoft Windows PowerShell step-by-step, Manning with Windows PowerShell in action, SAMS as Windows PowerShell Unleashed, Sapien Press with Microsoft Windows PowerShell, and TechNet, scripting with Windows PowerShell. So take a look at these books and get yourselves comfortable using PowerShell. As always, here are a list of references to guide you along the way.